Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the top 10 comics of January 1st, 2020. That's right, everybody. Thanks for checking out the video. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups. This is my top 10 comics for New Comic Book Day, January 1st, 2020. First day of the year, Happy New Year, and a new show, right? So let's get right into it. My top 10 comic books of this week. Now, this is going to be my personal recommendations, and I want to know what your top 10 comics are down in the comments below. We can keep the conversation going within the community. We can all maybe recommend some books, point out some things that maybe other people haven't checked out, maybe I haven't checked out, and recommend books for people and help grow this industry and this community. So here are my top 10 comic books for January 1st, 2020. At number 10, we've got Star Wars #1 from Marvel Comics, written by Charles Soule, with artwork by Jesus Saiz, and coloring by Jesus Saiz and Arif Prianto, lettering by Clayton Cowles. Star Wars is a fantastic book. It's really cool, and it's a new relaunch of Star Wars. It's the 40th anniversary of Empire Strikes Back, inarguably pretty much the best Star Wars movie out there, and so why not do a new Marvel series, do a relaunch, a new #1, but the reason why, because this starts right at the end of Empire Strikes Back, and I mean that, like seconds at the after the end of Empire Strikes Back, and it's able to get in there and fill in those gaps, and I think it's a cool place to explore. Jason Aaron and Karen Gillan's run, of course, all took place between New Hope and Empire, so this is the next logical step. The artwork was crisp and clean, very realistic, but still very actiony and comic booky as well. I really liked it. I thought the entire team did a great job. Charles Soule recently did that most recent Darth Vader series, kind of like Vader Year One, and I absolutely loved it. Charles Soule knows what he's doing when it comes to Star Wars. I'm down for this, and we're going to see how long it keeps me entertained. At number 9, we have Marauders #5 from Marvel Comics, written by Gary Duggan, with artwork by Matteo Loli and Lucas Werneck, Federico Blee on the coloring, and Corey Pettit on the lettering, Tom Mueller on the design work. I really like the Marauders. Marauders has been really fun. One of my favorite Dawn of X books so far. Kate Pryde, she's now gone right into this pirate fantasy. But in Marauders #5, they really start kind of getting into the heart of that. Why is she acting what some would say out of character? I think it's in character. She's going through some stuff. She can't get on Krakoa. Not through a gate anyway. It throws a lot of other questions in there. Duggan's been doing a great job with this book, taking fun characters like Storm and Iceman and characters that I've never really thought too much about like Pyro and really making them work together. Get lots of political intrigue in this one involving the Hellfire Club, Sebastian Shaw, Emma Frost, and of course Kate Pryde, and Bishop's new role as the Red Bishop. I loved it. Thought it was great. It's got some great moments, great scenes. Dawn of X, one of my favorite ones so far. At number 8, we have Daredevil #16 from Marvel Comics, written by Chip Zdarsky, with artwork by Jorge Fornes, Nolan Woodard on the coloring, and Clayton Cowles on the lettering. Daredevil's been amazing. It was one of Marvel's strongest titles in 2019, and it starts off 2020 with a bang. A great issue focusing in a little bit on the most recent iteration of the relationship between Matt Murdock and Elektra. Some really cool stuff. The artwork by Jorge Fornes and Nolan Woodard, oh my goodness, it's fantastic. I love it. It's so good. That lettering by Cowles really wraps it all in a nice package. This has been really good. Zdarsky's been doing an amazing job with the characters of Matt Murdock and especially Wilson Fisk. This keeps me engaged, it keeps me intrigued, and even newer characters like the police detective, I think it's Cole. Fantastic stuff. Daredevil, a lot of people are talking about this book. It's not just hype, it's legitimately good. At number 7, we have Hawkeye Freefall #1 from Marvel Comics, written by Matthew Rosenberg, with artwork by Otto Schmidt, lettering by Joe Sapino. This book was really, really fun. I thought Hawkeye Freefall was a great spiritual successor to Matt Fraction's run. It really kept that fun, loose vibe, very kinetic, highly energized, but also very fun. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and if you like recent Hawkeye characterizations, especially that Fraction stuff, I think you'll really, really like this one. Matthew Rosenberg's dialogue really flows, it's snappy, it goes right along. Otto Schmidt's artwork, kinetic, highly charged, action-packed, really fun stuff. Great character interactions, especially with Clint Barton and Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson. Really great stuff, and I'm loving it. It's a great start to what's sure to be a really cool miniseries. At number 6 is X-Men number 4 from Marvel Comics, written by Jonathan Hickman with Lionel Francis Yu on the artwork, inking by Gary Angulon and Lionel Francis Yu, and Sonny Gao on the coloring, Clayton Cowles on the lettering, Tom Mueller on design. Lots of Marvel Comics this week. There's a lot of Marvel Comics this week, and a lot of them were good, to be honest with you. X-Men continues to be great. This is, in my opinion, the best issue of Hickman's X-Men yet. And it's just 4 issues, but this one is great. There's a lot of political intrigue. It's basically the leadership of Krakoa, Apocalypse, Xavier, Magneto, meeting with some human leadership, talking about the global economic consequences of what's going on, trying to get a feel for them. Meanwhile, another assassination attempt, but it doesn't quite go the way the humans plan. I'm loving it. What Hickman and company are doing right now with these Dawn of X books is that now that they've established this new role of the X-Men in Marvel continuity, they are now building up the natural reaction to that. So lots of assassins being sent after them, lots of political manipulation going on behind the scenes. Hickman does this and handles it well. This whole issue is a conversation with a little bit of action, but it works and it flows so well. Apocalypse, Magneto, Xavier, so threatening to humans, and it really comes across clear in the story. Great artwork. I'm not always the biggest Lionel Francis Yu fan, but this is really cool. It has a lot of depth to it and a lot of power. Really liking this book. X-Men, Dawn of X, it's solid. At number 5, we have Everything number 5 from Dark Horse Comics, written by Christopher Cantwell with artwork by I.N.J. Colbard and lettering by Steve Wands. Everything is surreal. It's weird. It's crazy. It's hard to compare it to anything that's on shelves right now. I would say that it does kind of reach a tone similar to something like Ice Cream Man, but it's not single-issue horror anthologies. It's really weird. It's about this big, like, Walmart-type supercenter thing that shows up in a town called Everything. They're pumping out this weird music. It's affecting the people in the community. It's kind of turning them into, like, brainwashed, brain-dead zombies, all just fascinated with this store and spending as much time in it as possible, including the workers, right? Really weird, surreal-type stuff. Take the weirdest bits of Twin Peaks, and then throw it in with a little bit of that atmosphere and tone from something like Ice Cream Man, and you got everything. I really like it. This is the end of the first story. There is going to be a second one. I could not be more excited because everything is great. At number 4, we've got Joker Harley, Criminal Sanity number 2 from DC Black Label, written by Cami Garcia, with artwork by Mike Mayhew and Miko Suwan and Jason Bedower helping out, and Richard Starkings as the letterer. Really, really liking this book. It's kind of like Seven meets Joker and Harley. It's a new interpretation of Harley and an even different interpretation of the Joker, but I love it. I love it so much, kind of redefining the origins. It's a story that's not set in the typical DC universe. It's a DC Black Label book. It's got a nice magazine format to it, beautiful pages, beautiful realistic artwork. It's like photorealistic artwork. It's amazing. It's got a lot of style choices. The present day scenes are done in black and white, and the old school scenes are done in color. The two different artists, they have two different styles, but they're both supremely realistic, and they really work and feed off of each other. It's a weird style choice to do the black and white as the present day, but it really starts coming clear with some of the color choices in issue number 2 why they're setting this story up. This is one of my favorite interpretations of the character of Harleen Quinzel, and it's a really cool, young, visceral, and scary Joker. I'm really, really liking it. In this story, Harley, she is a police profiler, right? So she's a serial killer profiler. So she's like a psychologist, of course, and she can get into the minds of a serial killer and maybe help him catch it. Joker was a serial killer from a few years ago. He was never caught, never found. All of a sudden, seems like he's killing again, so you got to bring Harley back in. Really cool stuff, completely different than their typical dynamic, and I'm loving it. At number 3, we have Olympia, number 2 from Image Comics, written by Tony Pyers and Kurt Pyers, with lettering by Micah Myers, artwork by Alex Diotto, and design work by Ryan Ferrier and Dee Cunniffe on the coloring. Olympia is great and a big tribute and love letter to Jack Kirby, and it's fantastic. This kid is reading his favorite comic book in the woods. It's a very Kirby-esque comic book. And then all of a sudden, his favorite hero basically shows up in his world. So it seems like something we've seen before, but this book has such a charm and a heart to it that's just perfection. Like I said, lots of tribute to Kirby. Deotto's artwork is fantastic. He has a very grounded, realistic style. And he also has this really crazy, explosive Kirby-esque type style when we're telling parts of the story in that comic book world. The characterization is great. The way the kid interacts with this hero, I love it. I love it so much. This book would make Jack Kirby incredibly proud. Kurt Pyers is doing this one with his dad, Tony. The artwork is fire. Cunnif's coloring, fantastic. Really is able to handle the old school vibe as well as the new school vibe. Lots of tone, lots of atmosphere, lots of tugging at your hearts, but also just lots of fun, excitement. This is a book that will remind you why you love comic books in the first place. At number 2 is The Misplaced number 2 from Source Point Press, created by Chris Callahan. Chris Callahan's doing such a great job with this one. It's esoteric, it's challenging, it's interesting. It's about a dude who dies, goes to the afterlife, but his wife's soul is not there. Where is it? Other souls are missing. So this dude convinces death to let him come back. There's a lot of mystery in this book. It's got really amazing artwork. I love it. May not be for everybody, but for me, it just blows me away. I love the story. Like I said, it's challenging. It doesn't just lay everything right out there for you. It's not that the story's not clear. It's just that the contents of the story, it's a big mystery. Lots of cool stuff going on. This is something that definitely warrants rereads. This is a 4-issue series, so we're halfway done, and I couldn't even be more intrigued, or at least I don't think I could, but I bet issue 3 is going to knock it out of the park because issue 2 was even better than issue number 1. I love this book. Like I said, it's esoteric, it's about mystery, it's about meaning, it's rich, it's got a lot of rich thematic elements to it, and that artwork really works together with that story. It's a pure vision, it's a bold vision, and I love it so much. And number 1 is Thor number 1 from Marvel Comics, written by Donny Cates, with artwork by Nick Klein, coloring by Matthew Wilson, Joe Sabino on the lettering, and lots of different covers. I loved this new direction of Thor. Donny Cates is a rock star writer right now. Everybody's into what he's doing. He's doing great stuff with Venom. Silver Surfer Black was beyond fire. It was cosmic fire. It was so amazing. Donny Cates seems to have like the Midas touch right now at Marvel Comics, and he's brought that touch back to Thor. I've loved Jason Aaron's run. You can tell that Donny Cates not only loves the character of Thor, he also has a lot of respect for Jason Aaron's run, because he picks up where Jason Aaron's run left off. Thor is now king, but Cates takes that, uses it, molds it into his vision, into his story, and then creates something completely new and unexpected with it. Big time moments. They're going to have a lot of comic book people talking about it. Comic book water cooler talk is going to be involving this issue this week. It was really good. Nick Klein's artwork is great. It's sturdy. It's got the gravity necessary to handle a big, gigantic, masterful, majestic character like Thor. Matthew Wilson's been coloring Thor for a while, so he's already accustomed to drawing or creating these luscious colors of Asgard and cool ethereal stuff, but then grind it in a cold, dark, dank reality at times. Fantastic stuff. I love it. This book is amazing. It's a great new direction. I think this is going to be something that's going to hit a lot of people. They're going to read it. They're going to like it. It's got cosmic characters in it. It's got a lot of Thor in it. And like I said, it takes what Jason Aaron did and it spins it into a new direction that is incredibly exciting. Super excited for the future of Thor right now. So that's my top 10. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Like I said at the beginning, let me know in the comments below, what are your top 10 comics of the week? Let's start recommending some books. Let's keep the conversation going. We got a great comic book community here on YouTube, so definitely let's get involved. And don't forget to check out some of the coolest comic book channels out there, like Comics with Bueller, Jim Mint Collectibles, Dylan's Comic Book Rants, The Boy Who Had 7 Talks Comics, 90MF Comics. There are so many more fantastic stuff and a great community that's building up. So thank you so much for checking out the video. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Pop Culture Philosophers, and join the PCP Army on Facebook, the official Pop Culture Philosophers Facebook group. Please do like, share, and subscribe. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on reading.